The banking sector with approval to offer a wider range of services, more overseas banks are entering China. A battle is now raging to attract the most talented staff. According to Hudson Recruitment, in Shanghai, overseas banks offered around 500 new positions in the first half of this year, rising 20% from the same period last year and faster than many other industries. This week, I interviewed Karl-Erik Stolberg, Executive Chairman of Swedbank AB. He told us about the challenge of finding appropriate human resources upon entry to a new market. For foreign banks entering China for the first time, what would be an overall strategy for personnel planning?
We think it's important to have local people, local management. It's a lot of local experience that you need to have and local regulations and so forth that you have to comply. So it's very important for us to have, in all our overseas branches, to have local management and local general manager.
Now, I understand a lot of foreign banks, when they first enter this market, they would form an initial work group to get things started. Maybe it's not a full range of people, but just some key positions. So what would be the key positions included in that initial work team?
Key positions for us is to have, of course, the general manager, but then it's to focus on operation, compliance, and marketing. And the reason for that is operational compliance is that we can adopt to all the rules and be compliant to all the regulations and rules that are upcoming in a new country. And marketing, of course, to get new customers and to see that the income flow will increase in a good way.
If you are asked to prioritize those positions, what would you say?
I think that operation and compliance comes first. And then the marketing position, because you must know that in a new market like this and in China as it is, also the rules and regulations are changing all the time, and you need then to have people in place that can understand the local language and the local situation, so that they can really comply to all these rules. I think that's of importance.
So for those positions, which ones are you looking to recruit locally, and which ones are you going to transfer internally?
All these we have local people hired for. So on the 15 people we start with, 14 are local recruits. The advantages of having local people is what I said, that they know the market, have the experience, understand the language, understand the culture and so forth. The disadvantage could be that they are not really familiar with the corporate culture of a Western bank and also the management style and so forth. So for us it's very important that all our people employed in the branch has been to Sweden or going to Sweden, try to learn more about the group and also to learn a little bit of how Swedish management works, because there are some differences between Swedish and Chinese management style. We really like our employees to take quite some responsibility themselves and also take initiatives themselves to do things, but do it in line with all the rules and regulations that of course are in place, but more of personal initiative. And I think that's a little bit different compared with maybe the Chinese management style or the Asian management style.
Hopefully in the near future you will look to expand your operation in China. So at what point of time would you start looking at the second round local recruitment?
That will take some years. We have now these operations going on and the license we got from the authorities. And after 3 years we can get the renminbi license, that is doing business in local currencies. And of course when we get that in hopefully 2010, then we can increase the business activities even more on a local basis, and that will be the starting point, I think, for the second phase in local recruitment.
As China fully opens its financial sector, a lot of foreign banks are in this market. They're actually entering a talent war. They're hiring a lot of new people onto their teams. So what characteristics are you looking for when you recruit locally?
Service leadership is a key word for us. So we're looking for people that are very service-oriented, that can satisfy our customers in a good way.
How do you define service-oriented? What are the specific characteristics or qualities?
The qualities is that we are not trying to be so reactive, sit and wait for the clients to come and have their views. More proactive, go out, meet the clients, see what the clients could need, and be on that side of the relation between the client and the bank.
So can I draw the conclusion that you are looking for salespeople for the bank?
To some extent, yeah, salespeople, but I mean, we're not in car sales. It's banking products. So you have to be sales oriented, but you also have to have some administrative talents and also be aware of all the rules and regulations. But more on the service side and more of the customer relations side, and being aware of there's a client out there that you have to attract.
What about the requirement for their background? Is banking or financial services background always necessary?
On a junior level, you can take in people that just have graduated, and then we have internal educations and so forth, that you can gradually become more and more of a banker. But on the senior positions, of course, general manager and what I mentioned before, when it comes to operations compliance and also accounting and so forth, I think that it's important that you have some banking skills and banking experience, and so we have done also with the recruitments we have done.
Because these are very technical positions.
Yeah, and also they have a high responsibility level for the branch as a total, and then you need to have banking experience and know what banking operation, banking business is.